Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on What's Brewing with Jim and Gigi on this Wednesday morning, hump day. Gotta love it.
That it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
halfway
your
through
thing,
the week.
yeah.
and here we are with yet another chance for a little wintry weather as we're trying to melt away the snow from the monster snowstorm. This will not be a big deal, though. Let me right out of the box. This will not be a big deal. A little bit of freezing rain, a few snowflakes, maybe a little sleet late tonight, tomorrow morning. Enough that I'm a little worried about icing on bridges tomorrow. I think that's the biggest thing tomorrow morning that we may potentially have to deal with. But we're not going to be adding much in the way of snow or sleet. Maybe a dusting, I think. I'll kind of dig into that, and we'll talk about the timing on that. Don't worry about this one too much. A few headaches in the morning. Outside of that, this is not a high-impact storm. It's a low-end event.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything that we saw this past weekend. I'm sure a lot of you are, I used the word scarred yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, just,
was good. Yeah.
you know, waking up and seeing that firsthand, it is like, wow, oh my gosh. Luckily, we're not dealing with that anymore.
Yeah, and we melted away quite a bit yesterday.
Yeah. We'll
do that again with the rain today. It's rain today, folks. Grab the umbrellas you head out, by the way.
Sure.
But that rain will aid the process of melting a lot of that snow away. It's looking more and more like by the time we get to the end, this is day number 4 with snow on the ground. By Friday, there may not be much left at the rate we're going.
Okay, yeah. One thing I do want to bring up, though, because we've been seeing so many cold overnights, the risk of frozen pipes, we've been seeing quite a few people. I know I've talked to a few people while I'm out and about talking about their frozen pipes and just the risk of that. And there was actually a house fire in Beaufort County that we reported on recently, and the fire investigators found that the reason behind the fire was because the owner of the home was trying to thaw out some frozen pipes.
With a blowtorch.
Yes.
I believe.
Which is funny. It's ironic because we had a story, remember, on Sunday where it was in like Boston or something where somebody had tried to thaw their frozen pipes with a blowtorch.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
No,
was this the same
that
story?
Happened, and then the next day it happened right here in Eastern, Eastern Carolina. Who would have thought? Yeah, please don't do that. But we did talk to some plumbers just to talk about some tips on what to do if your pipes do freeze, and just, you know, in the long run, what to do when we experience another long stretch of cold weather.
Monday afternoon, a home outside of Belhaven on Little Creek Road Extension caught on fire after homeowners attempted to thaw their pipes themselves, according to officials. With debris scattering almost 80 yards across the front lawn, officials say the $500,000 waterfront home was deemed a total loss. Neighbors say the fire reignited Tuesday morning. Plumbing professionals advise people to know what to do and what not to do when it comes to thawing frozen pipes.
So you don't want to put any open flame source to a pipe because first off, it can melt any insulation and the piping.
Even when you are just trying to thaw the pipes, other issues may be happening in your home that you don't know about.
You may have a small gas leak, or you may even have a small sewer line that's broke open. Now you've got sewer gas going under your house. With an open flame, obviously that can create a very tragic event.
Alongside maintaining other parts of your home, Water says there are things you can do to prevent your pipes from freezing.
I like to leave water, just a small pencil-sized lid running on both ends of the house, farthest away. And if it does freeze, you know, sometimes it's best just to try to let it unthaw on its own.
It's information that can help you prepare for cold temperatures and potentially save your home.
Yeah, so again, just a reminder as we are still, you know, dealing with these overnight lows below freezing, just please be mindful of your pipes, especially any bathroom pipes that are, you know, near exterior walls.
Yeah.
Jim, you've been harping on all the heat safety tips for the last few weeks now because we've been dealing with such freezing temperatures for a long run.
And I've been down this road. I know what it's like.
Yes.
Not once, but twice. My spigot outside, the gasket expanded, contracted, and then leaking water. And, you know, I'm at work, everything thaws out, I get home, there's a lake in the yard. That happens to you typically once. It doesn't again happen to me twice. I'm ashamed to say that. But yeah, just insulate everything. Insulate it, protect it. Hopefully everybody's done that. Obviously, if you haven't, if you're out there with a blowtorch on your pipes, don't do that. Not a good idea. Let's talk weather if we could.
Sure.
We'll switch over to the weather computer. I'm going to start you off with a look outside the studio. Through the Greenville camera, still plenty of snow around out there. It'll be on the ground many areas through the end of the week. Again, I think Friday, Saturday, there may not be much left by then, although some of you with a foot to a foot and a half on the ground, there'll be some still around into the weekend. All right, headlines today. Clouds are out there, the raindrops are out there. They'll be with us all day long. Keep the umbrella around throughout the day. We're mid-30s now, I think mid-40s later today. Light, emphasis on the word light, wintry mix coming in tonight. Probably 9 p.m. to maybe 1 a.m., a transition window for the rain to the mix. And then we get into the early morning hours. It looks like primarily freezing rain, light freezing rain, not accumulating a quarter of an inch of ice. Winter weather advisory is in effect through 10 a.m. tomorrow. Kicks in at 7 p.m. today, and we'll be in it for 15 hours through 10 a.m. Thursday for the low impact winter event. And again, we're not going to be measuring the snow with a yardstick this time. Check it out. Rain on the model data today into tonight. We get you into late tonight. That's the transition as we get towards 9, 10, 11 o'clock. The pink shaded area, the freezing rain, and then more of a light snow once you get into the whites there a little further to the north. Notice as we get into tomorrow morning, the precipitation is getting lighter. We're kind of drying the atmosphere. That's why this looks like a low-end event. We're not going to continue to build in moisture, so we're not going to keep a heavy... That last snowstorm, it snowed nonstop for 12 to 16 hours consecutively, moderate to occasionally heavy snow. You're going to get a lot of snow when it goes for that long. This is a light event. Generally on and off for maybe 6 hours into tomorrow morning, 6 to 8 hours. Much lighter, not that big blanket of heavy precip. Light freezing rain to snow. And again, the model, this is one of the other models showing the rain. And then this one's really kind of stingy with any wintry weather later tonight. There's 6 a.m. Wanted to show you, this is what we look at, several models every day as we're making our forecast. Here's what I'm thinking as far as any accumulation potential. Maybe a dusting to an inch as you get along the white shaded area. Highway 264 north, maybe we could call that, from Goldsboro to Wilson, Greenville to Williamston and points north. If you get an inch of snow, you're probably going to have to be somewhere up north of Windsor, maybe a Hosky, Scotland Neck area, north of the Albemarle Sound. So a low-end event in terms of snow and sleet. The ice, 1/10 of an inch. Once you hit about 1/4 of an inch, then you start getting into power outages. This won't be that kind of storm. A glaze, a light glaze, to maybe 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation as we go into early to mid-morning tomorrow, the way it looks. So there's our risk window, Wednesday evening to Thursday midday or late morning. Rain to freezing rain to light snow, generally speaking, with that dusting I mentioned. Slick spots late tonight. We're finally getting the roads better, and then we throw another little weak storm in here to get some ice going tomorrow morning again. There's the air temps right now. Everybody's above freezing, save Roanoke Rapids. Could be some slick spots way up by the state line, but most of us are fine. Wind's not strong, so the wind chill is not biting at you. Actually, you walk out, it almost feels like a heat wave, comparatively speaking. We're in the mid to upper 30s instead of the teens and the 20s out the door. Mid-40s later, again, dodging the raindrops through the day today. I want to show you the big map, the setup here. Area of low pressure down near Atlanta this morning, headed eastbound. And again, it hits the coast. It'll get a little stronger, but it's not going to blow up. We're not going to get a bomb cyclone like the last one, just exploding off the coast. So it takes its moisture and it gets out of here. Doesn't linger, doesn't become a powerhouse storm. We'll be quiet tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll stay good as we get in towards Thursday afternoon, Friday. Watch that model. As I get you into Thursday afternoon, watch the low pull away. The map goes quiet. It stays that way. That little bit of snow Friday night north of us, maybe a flurry here while you're sleeping Friday night, or a sprinkle. That's all we're seeing out of that. So a quiet Super Bowl weekend. Look at Texas. See that mild back there? Relatively milder air. 50s. perhaps by the middle of next week. That'll be a cause for celebration in what has been an extended run of 30s to 40s with overnights in the teens and 20s. Perhaps we finally get a little bit of a break in the middle of next week. I'm not going to throw a 60 in there yet, but the models are trending towards that possibility, and they should be. Quite honestly, once you're getting into February, normal highs around 55, 56.
Right.
So the 60s become fairly common over the next week or two. Still not seeing much of it, but it won't be long before we take the 40s off the 8-day and start putting the 60s in there.
Yeah, let's hope. I know a lot of people are ready for, even spring-like temperatures, especially after this weekend. And it's been weeks, I feel like. I can't even believe it's only February. It just feels like we've been in this long stretch of cold temperatures for quite a while.
Yeah, I need to take a look at the highs because I know it's been at least 10 plus days, I think, many of us, since we've seen 50.
Yeah.
And that's saying something, even for North Carolina standards. So it indeed has been a long, cold run out there. But again, it's not too far down the road where the 60s are more the norm and the 40s are the exception. We'll make that transition in all I got to be careful here because I might get burned. But kind of easing things a bit over the coming weeks. And behind this event tonight, there's really not much there in the way of storms for a while. That's nice to say as well. It's been a tough road of the big East Coast winter storm, and then our monster historical storm this past weekend, and now another week event coming in tonight. So I got to throw in the towel. We need a break. I think most of us are feeling that way. After this storm exits, we should get a pretty good run of relatively quiet weather.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that the models are still holding strong for this weekend. Feels like it's become a pattern where we're seeing, the snow, the wintry mix. I know, I should stop talking right now, but it is nice to see this weekend. It's looking nice and clear. Maybe you can all get outside and enjoy. I mean, I am really excited, like you said, about the 60s, but there were people outside. I was on the Greenway last week, and it was like 40s, and people were outside in shorts. So
it's all relative.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you spend this long in this kind of cold air mass, hitting 50 degrees feels like the middle of spring.
Right.
I mean, it really is relative. So, and I'm not saying we're going to hit 60 yet. I still don't see that next week. It might end up getting colder behind my 57 on the 8-day, but if we get lucky, maybe we can break the cold pattern and build in a warmer pattern for a little while.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for the update, Jim.
Sure.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. We have a few friends over on Facebook joining us. Good morning to Billy down in Emerald Isle. Hope things are still nice out there. Are you seeing some snow on the beach still? Let us know. And John down in Jacksonville, 38 there, raining, coming from Beulahville. Yeah, lots of melting with that snow there, but of course, lots of snow still kind of piled up.
But it sounds like that drive from Beulahville to Jacksonville, wet roads,
Yeah.
and nothing icy. Again, you're going to go out and you're going to be like, man, everything is wet, so do I need to worry about ice? The answer is no, not until you get to the northern state line, northbound. Wet roads, though, that's plenty enough to deal with. And still a lot of slushy roads. I'm kind of neglecting the fact that the back roads, the lightly traveled roads, the secondary roads, and a lot of driveways. A lot of folks can't go to work yet because they can't pull their little car out of the driveway.
Yeah.
It was still 6-8 inches sitting on driveways. So still some issues to be dealt with for another day or two.
Yeah, still a lot of cleanup left to go out there. And also, George, good morning to you as well. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be back again at 8 a.m. for another news and weather update. Hope you can join us then, but have a great Wednesday.